Well, here's another problem with this 2006 Ford Expedition. The brakes and pads are great on this vehicle, and we know there was some squeaking involved and some problems with that. So the rear brakes needed addressed, and those were taken care of anyway, but there was still a noise. So I did a little more investigating, and with the wheel bolted on and I had the car jacked up, I could wiggle the wheel around. That's not good. That means, it's hard to tell right here, that's the wheel bearing. So I'm going to go through the steps to change the wheel bearing on this vehicle. Here's another, maybe this will help see the movement. That's not good. That means that thing's ready to come apart. So in the backside down here, there's, well, it appears to be 4 18mm bolts that hold the hub assembly onto the suspension. And I'm also going to remove the caliper, but I'm going to remove the whole assembly. So there's an 18mm bolt just like in the rear, and I'll remove those two and remove this whole assembly, the whole caliper and bracket and everything. Okay, I've got the caliper assembly off, and the rotor just slides right off, and I've got the top 2 bolts out up here on the hub assembly. Before I take that all the way off, I noticed it has a ABS sensor right here, and so I'm going to remove that with an Allen wrench, get that loosened up. That should slide out of there. It's hanging in there pretty good. Yep. So there's that. And I'll remove the bottom 2 bolts, and then this assembly will come off. Okay, now a little persuasion, and I'll have this assembly out of here, and that's it. That's the assembly. Now if this was a 4-wheel drive, it would have a different assembly. This would have an axle through it and a drive nut, or a nut locking it in. But since this is a rear-wheel drive, you can probably hear that. Not a good sign. I wish I would have checked that first. But we caught it before it came apart going down the road. So now I'll go pick up another one and get it replaced. Well, there's a new one from Advance Auto Parts. As you can see, it comes with the lead for the ABS sensor. So I'll reinstall that, or get that installed, and then take this lead off from the original and replace it with the new one. Alright, hub is mounted. I'll reinstall the rotor, and then I'll reinstall the caliper, bracket and everything, get it back in place, double check my torque, and then run this lead up to the plug-in. And there it is assembled. And like I said, the last thing I have to do is take this wire lead for the ABS and get it out of the way, and I'll work my way all the way up into where it plugs in, up inside the engine bay, and just follow it back with the new pieces. Once all that's in, that should be it. That'll take care of this hub problem.